So we're very glad to meet the Managing Director of the Arizona Lithium, Mr. Paul Lloyd, with us to discuss regards to the progressing of the breakthrough of its Big Sandy Lithium projects, the processing, that technology and that approach. So welcome, Paul.
Hello, Steph. How are you?
Good. So today we have seen the announcements regarding to the testing program of the Hazen research on the Big Sandy Lithium. So could you please tell us a bit more about the results and what does it mean to Big Sandy?
Yes, the results out today are very significant for the development of the Big Sandy project. When we found the project, we did a lot of soil sampling and we knew that it was an extremely large project. And now we've drilled that and we've come up with a JORC compliant resource of 320,000 tonnes of LCE. We then drew our attention to the processing, and our initial work we did on the processing was just to determine what the processing looked like on a global sort of scale, and we quickly found out that it was sulfuric acid leaching. The next step after that was to see if we could beneficiate the ore before we started leaching the ore. And this announcement today shows that we can recover 71% of the lithium from 36% of the mass. So we're basically reducing the material by 2/3 and we still keep 71% of the lithium. And then we can treat that material using sulfuric acid. The result means that we consume a lot less sulfuric acid. And I've always said that this project is subject to sulfuric acid consumption. That was the cost driver on this project, and we've got a breakthrough now that shows that we can produce at much lower sulfuric acid consumption rates.
So if you mentioned ability to recover like 71% of the lithium in about 36 of the whole ore mass, and the acid consumption is reduced. So technically, is that a result outperform industrial average?
The Big Sandy project is a sedimentary lithium project, and the sedimentary projects are basically new to the lithium industry. No one is producing from lithium at the present time. So we are at the forefront of a new division of the lithium market. So if there's not many companies to compare ourselves to, and these materials do behave very differently. So we have a material that behaves very well, and so therefore you have less costs of production. So we have a higher grade than most of the projects in this space, and we're now showing that we can produce at a lot lower cost than most producers or potential producers. The next step, Steph, is to build a research facility so that we can do this testing on a much larger scale. And we'll be doing that next year and progressing that along very quickly.
So regarding to the cost, so how much cost estimatedly that will be saved? Or let's say what percentage roughly they can improve the profit margin of the production?
The profit margin from lithium production, given that the commodity price has moved so much in the last sort of 6 to 12 months, then the margins are very good in lithium production across all of the world, anyone that's in lithium. And the demand for lithium compared to the supply is very encouraging for any producers or planned producers over the next few years. We see the lithium market as only getting stronger with the EV revolution, and particularly the fact that we're in Arizona. There's a lot of demand from battery producers that are locating their plants in Arizona, and that's not just for EV batteries, that's for renewable energy storage. So the demand for this product is far outstripping supply, and I expect that to last for a very long time.
Yeah, that's right. Like the lithium industry is growing very fast. So what would be the next step on the Big Sandy Lithium project? You have mentioned there will be research facilities. So concurrent, is any other activities will be completed on the project?
Now that we are very close to completing our flow sheet so that we know exactly how we're going to process the ore from the Big Sandy Lithium project, we want to build a research facility so that we can process the material at much larger scale and refine that. Just refine it slightly, but that always adds to the bottom line when you improve the processing route. And that will start in the new year, and construction of the research facility, it's more than likely to be around Phoenix, and that'll start in Q1 next year and be constructed during Q2. So that'll be a very exciting time for the company, and we'll start to refine that, and we'll end up with a final product as well. Not huge quantities, but we'll be able to give that to potential off-takers and show them the grade of the quality of the product. We do know that we can produce battery grade lithium, and in this announcement, we just improved our battery grade lithium numbers by a little bit in regards to the testing that Hazen have been doing. So we know we can produce a quality product. We just need to work out the exact processing route, and that's the reason why we're building the research facility.
So what about the progress currently, the contact or the connection with the local potential investors, also like off-takers, as like the new director has been appointed not long ago, and says like he will be taking care of the local relationships and also looking for off-takers and investors. So how's that going so far?
Yeah, that's going really well. We were lucky that when COVID hit, we had a management team based in Phoenix. And more recently, we've expanded that management team to include a new director, Matthew Blumberg, who's based in New York. And he's a huge advantage for us to develop this project up more aggressively than we have been doing, because our team in Western Australia haven't been able to travel to the US. I'm hoping that that changes in the new year with COVID somewhat subsiding, and we can really sort of accelerate our efforts on that development. But our local team have really helped us through this stage, and we've come out the other end looking pretty good.
That's great. So any other points about the Big Sandy, the project or the company, the Arizona Lithium, do you think that investors should pay more attention to?
I think if you have a look at the previous flyovers that we've done, you can see that this is a very large project. So the exploration risk is somewhat limited. We need to get approvals from the Bureau of Land Management, which we're working on, to drill another 145 holes and take a test pit to take that material to our research facility. But I don't see that as a huge risk. I see that what we need to do is determine the exact processing, and we'll be doing that in the first half of next year. So that will be a very exciting time. Then we have the whole we have the geology, we have the processing all sorted, then we can look towards scoping studies and PFS and DFS. So go down that route. I'd like to think that we can appoint a company to do a scoping study before the end of this year.
Lovely. This sounds all great. So any estimately when the approval can be acquired?
For the drilling operations, Steph?
Yes.
We're engaging with the Bureau of Land Management, and they are the owners of the property, and we're constantly in communication with them, and I'm very confident that we'll get that drilling approval, but exactly when, I can't say at the moment because it's outside of my control, but I'm very positive.
Thank you. Thank you very much today for the discuss and explain this result and the future of the Big Sandy, that project with us. So I believe more people would understand Big Sandy better as it increasingly unveil the additional values to shareholders and to the market. Thank you. And we look forward to hearing the next exciting news.
Thanks, Steph. Good to catch up.